Hi, everybody. I'm Dale Kyle. I'm the handheld product manager and responsible for a lot of the marketing of our rugged handhelds. Over the years, we've really tried to get the point across that we design our handhelds to be rugged from the ground up, and that it's not just an iPack in a box. But despite our best efforts, a lot of people really think that all it takes to be rugged is you take a standard commercial device, put a hard shell around it, and you're done. So today we wanted to show you what it really takes to be a rugged device. So we're going to be talking to Jerry Steiger. Jerry's one of our senior mechanical engineers, and he's been working here at TDS since 1998. He's worked on every single rugged handheld that we've made. And I've asked him to come in today to really show us what does it take, what goes into the design and planning for making a rugged handheld. So Jerry, you want to walk us through the design process and what it takes to be rugged?
Okay, we can talk a little bit about it. I can't show you what it takes to be rugged, really, because you can't see that, right? It's not so obvious. But basically, it takes a full system design to make a rugged product. I started out, my very first job out of college was working at Mattel, doing toys, doing things like Hot Wheels toys and such. And one of the toys I worked on was a little programmable car that would run in patterns. One day we took it out into the parking lot to test it. And one of the vice presidents came by in his Buick Electra 225 and ran over it. And that was the end of it, right? It just squashed it flat. It was like a little turtle there on the pavement. So I've been trying to make things stronger and more rugged ever since. I eventually went to work for HP and was very proud to work on a lot of products like the 41C and the HP Palm Tops. And I always wanted to make them more rugged. And going through the drop tests and getting them to pass was always one of the big challenges, one of the things that was really exciting. But they were more interested in just getting it good enough for a commercial market. And so getting to work at TDS, where I could make things that were really rugged, things that had to stand up to really vicious environments, is just a wonderful job for me. It's great. I really enjoy this. So what I brought here are some samples out of 3 generations of our products. This is the original Ranger X here, the very first product that we did on our own. And if you look at this, you can see that there's a lot of stuff going on here to make this thing rugged. We've got an elastomer, a rubbery outside surface skin on the case. There's a very rigid carbon-filled, graphite-filled material, plastic material that we mold the inner core, the substrate of the case out of. There's internal rubber pieces that cushion the PC board. There are metal stiffeners on the PC board to keep the board from flexing and moving. This has obviously got a lot of effort put into making it survive in a very difficult environment. When we did the next generation, the Recon series, we were able to pare down a lot of the stuff that we did. I just realized I didn't bring a full Recon to show you kind of what happens here. But as opposed to having I've got it backwards. Other than that, it's great. As opposed to having a full skin of the elastomer around the product, we pared it down to where we just had a partial skin, just where we needed it, so that we could cut the weight down, make the product smaller, but still get the ruggedness that we needed. And that worked out very successfully. Instead of a very expensive, very difficult to mold plastic, we were able to go with more readily available, less expensive, easier to mold materials. And what we did was we made an outer skin that gave us the cosmetic appearance that we wanted, and then we made a very stiff internal chassis that would give us the stiffness that we needed, the strength that we needed on the internal parts, and that worked out very well. As we were working on this product, actually shortly after we introduced it, I guess, we brought a new engineer up to work on the team, and he did some work where he started working on just how much, cushioning material did we need. And it turned out that, gee, we could get by with less than we thought. So the next generation, the Ranger X series, instead of having really thick, bulky, heavy walls in the soft material that cushions the outside, we've got much thinner walls, but they're thick enough to give us the characteristics that we need.
What are some of the issues you run into around making it waterproof in the ceiling? And how do you deal with them?
Sealing a handheld unit is always one of the most difficult parts. It's not easy. There's not much room available for making the seals, and so you really can't use some techniques that you might use in larger objects. So it comes down to designing a system that has all the proper characteristics. So your seal material has to be the right size, the right durometer or softness, and the cases that hold the seal in place have to be stiff enough and have to have the right temperature characteristics, so that when you heat a unit up to, say, in your say it's sitting on the dashboard of your pickup in the Arizona sun, it's going to get very, very hot. When it gets hot like that, plastics, by their very nature, tend to move. They relax. If you push on them, they'll move away from that push. Well, a seal is basically always pushing. It's always trying to push the two case parts apart. If you don't pick the right materials, then that seal will start to leak, because the seal is no longer got enough pressure to hold the water out. Those issues are always difficult. On the old original Ranger, we used lots of RTV in places, because that was the best way that we could get it sealed up with the design that we had. With the Recon series, we were able to basically, use our experience, learn from what we had done previously, and minimize stuff like that. To use more seals that were designed in without requiring hand operations and messy materials. But it's always one of the most difficult things to do, to make sure that you've really got it not sealed just for a test, but to be sealed for the life of the product. Because people use these all the time in difficult environments, and they've got to last a lifetime.